Hey, my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about the possibility of asylum seekers getting moved out of hotels and put into HMOs. Now, this is something that has a big concern for a lot of people, having people moving from the hotels into residential neighbourhoods and the problems that that might cause. So in this video, I don't want to be political and I want you to also be fair in the comments, because I know anytime we talk about immigration, it can get quite hot in the comments. So do keep your comments polite. Be polite to other people's opinions as well in this. But let's have a discussion about what could happen over the next few months. Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're a property channel all about house prices, interest rates, investing in property, and much, much more. We've just hit 48,000 subscribers, so we'd love you to join us as well. And let's get some more views on this video. How do we do that? Simple. Smash like, tick or like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really has helped the channel grow. So thanks to everybody that does that each and every video. So the government has a problem, and a lot of this stems to a court outcome that happened in the last week or so. And so it was about the Bell Hotel in Epping, and the courts deemed that the accommodation wasn't suitable for immigration. Now, hotels have a class, and that class is that they are C1. And so C1 means they're suitable for short-term rentals. But the problem with the immigration stuff is a lot of people are coming to these hotels for months and months and months, if not years. And that isn't what this accommodation is set for. And so there was a challenge against that, and that hotel is now having a difficult problem. And the problem that you've got to consider is that this could roll out and other councils could challenge whether hotels are suitable or not to house immigrants. But that doesn't stop the immigrants coming. We still have the immigrants, and they're going to have to go somewhere. And so one thing that will be looked at is the next step. What's the next best property? And really, the only type of property that could help with this is HMOs, because HMOs are houses of multiple occupancy. And you get different types of HMOs. You get some that could be just a 3-bed HMO, a mini-mo, we might call that one, 4-bed, 5-bed. But you get some, I saw one in Crawley recently that was for sale, that was 50 rooms. It was previously a hotel that's been converted into an HMO. So then this C1 doesn't count then, because it is suitable. It's been approved. It's had all the licensing and everything done for longer term accommodation. So HMOs are the next thing that the government will look at. Now, there's a lot of people that won't like this, because an HMO could be anywhere. It could be mixed in amongst all of normal society and neighbourhoods. Now, look, eventually what we've got to understand is if people are coming into our country, they are going to live with us in everywhere in normal houses and flats like we do. But some people are a little concerned about this, because you do get some of the press that will be talking about that these people could potentially be dangerous. Families get concerned about that. And also unwanted attention happens at these types of properties sometimes, and you're getting people protesting outside of those. And if you think maybe you live on a residential road and then suddenly somebody has an HMO in there, and previously maybe that's been student accommodation, because that is also an HMO, or maybe it's been for professionals, and now you get immigrants in there. Maybe you don't have a problem with the immigrants, but maybe you do have a little concern about protests happening outside those properties and being loud, being a bit scary for you if you've got a family and stuff like that. This isn't an ideal situation, but I think that this is something that you're going to see happening. I think the problem is that the hotels, the government have already said they're going to be reducing the amount of hotels anyway. You've got a court that's now set a legal precedent that these hotels probably aren't the right type of accommodation for people on a long-term basis. Maybe that's not even legal. So the HMO is the next logical place where you would put people, because we don't have enough houses, normal houses rented out to just one family, and we don't have enough flats or apartments as accommodation as well. So HMOs are going to be what the government look at. But you've got a problem here as well. So something that you've got to consider here is that landlords are leaving the market very, very quickly. In droves, they're leading the market, I think it's fair to say. And that's not ideal, is it, for any government? Because they need accommodation. They are shrinking the rental market with their own policies. And so some of the things that are pushing landlords out is the Renters' Rights Bill. That's pushing landlords out. Landlords don't like the Section 21. They don't like the fact that they're being forced to accommodate pets in some circumstances. There's lots of different things in there. There's massive fines. Just for not being in the landlord database, you could get fined $7,000. Maybe there will be some people, I guarantee, that just aren't aware of the Renters' Rights Bill as well, that potentially don't get registered in there. Maybe they don't follow the media or YouTube channels like mine. So they're not aware of this. When that rolls out, they could potentially get fined. That will happen, I'm certain. No, hopefully not to too many, but it will happen. You've also got the EPC stuff pushing landlords out. The energy performance certificates, that's going to push people out. You potentially got to spend $15,000 getting your property up to an EPC level C. That's not great as well. You've got Section 24, which is a tax that's been in for a few years on landlords, which for some people means that you can't make any profit at all on your property. You've also got the talk and the threat that capital gains tax is going to go up, inheritance tax is going to go up. All of these things are making people make a decision to sell now. Get out the market. 30% of landlords have quit already. 50% of landlords are saying they're likely looking to leave. Even if we didn't have any immigration, we don't have enough rental properties, and that's a problem, and rents are rising at a massive feat. So what do you think the government would look at to get people in HMOs? I'll tell you, this is exactly what I believe that they're going to start offering, and that is guaranteed rent. Now, I'm talking things like the Serco contracts. Serco are a big company that do these government immigration contracts, but they're only in certain areas at the moment. What I think that you'll start seeing is that they will get rolled out to way more of the country, and because they just don't have enough places to put people. And by offering guaranteed rent and saying to landlords, you don't need to do maintenance because we'll do it for you, Serco manage all of this stuff for you, I think that that will keep some landlords in the market and give them a hands-off investment. If this doesn't happen and they can't get enough accommodation, they'll just have to buy some themselves. So either way, whether it's with a private landlord already or it's with the government or a local council buying a property, this is something that I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of. And that will cause some sort of unrest in certain areas. Some places and people will ultimately support it as well. But I think also you're going to get some places where they're really against this type of stuff moving into their neighbourhood. They might even agree that these people should be looked after fairly and have a right to a safe place to live, but they like it when it's a bit far away. When it comes into their neighbourhood, they might suddenly change their opinion on that. And they might not even change their opinion on the person's rights. It's just when all the drama comes along with it, if you get protesters and stuff like that outside these properties, that's when you could get some big problems. So I think that personally, this is what you're going to see. The government have already said, we are closing some of the hotels. We're going to reduce that bill. There's a court order that says these accommodations at hotels aren't right. There's no shortage of people. It's not slowing down the immigration. And so what you're going to see ultimately is this start to move from the hotels into the residential areas. This is something that if you're a landlord, there's an opportunity for some people to get a guaranteed rent. You might not want to talk about that, but that is something that some people will obviously be considering. But ultimately, I also think that this is going to drive rents up for everybody. because this is going to take more stock out of the private rental sector. Less accommodation is going to be available. You're still going to get lots of landlords leaving the market, and I think rents are going to continue to rise. What do you think about this? I'd like to know your thoughts, observations, and opinions on this. Do make sure you like this video, guys. Do subscribe. Keep the comments polite. I will block people, and YouTube, if you use profanities, just has an auto filter. Just have a conversation about it, though. I think it's important to discuss. And make sure, if you haven't done already, that you grab the Mortgage Secrets ebook, How to Get the Best Mortgage Deal in 2025. Nearly 2,000 people have got it now, so about 1,900 people have grabbed a copy. That will help you find a mortgage cheaper, find a decent broker, how to get off the market mortgage deals as well, ones that aren't advertised with brokers, ones that aren't advertised on the comparison sites as well. You should be checking those out because they have some good deals. Do also check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.